All right, so in this lab, all you really need is I'm using a whiteboard. You can use a piece of paper. You can use the online whiteboard if you want to show the work that you're going to be doing. Basically, what we're going to be doing is balancing the chemical equation, which is really a chemical equation is just a recipe, right? So we need to make sure that all the atoms on each side are equal to each other. So I wrote out the very first one. So it's sodium plus chlorine, 2, Cl2, make NaCl, which is salt. Okay. One just caveat is that whenever you see like something that you're like, is that an I or an L? I would say 95% of the time it's an L. Okay, this is a lowercase L. It's not capital C, capital I. Okay, you know that it's going to be separate. Or it's a new atom if there's a plus sign, right? So if you don't see a plus sign in between, that means that that's a little L. So just be aware of that as you're going through that. So yeah. So if like I said again, for the most part, that little capital L or that little L or capital I is gonna be a little L. Okay. All right. So anyway, first thing we need to do is we need to make our T chart, right? We need to say what do we have for our reactants and our products, right? We're just counting it out, okay, as we're going through it. So what are the atoms that we have here? So we have Na, right? And we have to have Na on both sides, right? Because we have to have equal numbers of each one. And then we also have to have chlorine on both sides. Okay, now we need to count how many we have. So we have Na, since there's no number here, I know we only have one atom there. Cl2, we know that we have 2 of those. All right, over here, Na, right, since there's no number after Na, I only have 1. And same thing with Cl, chlorine, I don't have a number over here, so it means it's a 1. So when I look at it, I can see that clearly my sodiums, right, are equal to each other, but my chlorines are not. So they're not balanced, right? So I need to go in there and balance those out. And the only way I can do that, right, is, and I'm going to do this for our example, just to show, right, that, hey, whatever you put in whatever I box out like this, I can't change inside of there. So I can't just put a 2 right here, right? Because when I do that, I'm changing the entire chemical, right? Na2Cl is completely, totally different. It's not salt. So I'm not making salt anymore. What I can do is say how many salt molecules I have. So how I do that is I just put a 2 out in the very, very front. And what I'm basically saying is I'm getting 2 of these sodium chlorides. So now when I do that, I just multiply everything inside the box by 2, right? So it's a little bit of math. So now instead of having 1 sodiums, I now have 2, okay? I multiply what's in the chlorine, so that's 2, right? So now my chlorines are good, but by doing this, I kind of messed up my sodiums, and that's okay. Don't worry about it, right? Sometimes you have to mess things up to make it better. Because now on the reactant side, I see that sodium is here, so I have 1 and I need to get to 2. So an easy fix to that is just putting a 2 right there. And when I do that, I get 2. So now if I look at it, I'm balanced, right? So I have 2 sodiums on the reactants, 2 on the products, 2 chlorines on the reactants, 2 on the products, right? So in reality, my answer over here is going to be 2. Sorry, I totally lost my view. I got to flip that on top, right? And then I go here, it's a 1 and goes a 2, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to screenshot this. This is what my answer is going to be, right? And this is what goes into here. So I'm going to go file. Actually, hold on. How do I? Oh, I got to go insert. Sorry. This is now in the way. So I got to go insert, image, upload from the computer. Took my screenshot. There it is. Okay. And now it's in there. Oops. And it's totally in the wrong spot. Right? So I want it there. And there you go. Okay. So that would be the answer to the example. Let's get those 2 together. Okay. So this is what you're going to be doing for the entire lab. Okay? All right.